I'm Thomas Waltz, a solutions architect on the Rubrik Specialty Engineering team. Today I'll show you how to protect your IBM AIX workloads using Rubrik Security Cloud and how Rubrik can ensure the cyber resilience of your data. Rubrik Security Cloud is the management plane for your entire infrastructure. From a single pane of glass, you can view your cloud, on-premises, and SaaS workloads and monitor your environment for possible threats and sensitive data. For AIX protection, we'll concentrate here on Unix hosts and file sets in the data protection application. The Rubrik Backup Service is a small agent that we install on your AIX system. This facilitates secure communication between the Rubrik cluster and the AIX system. First, we'll download the Rubrik Backup Service from Rubrik Security Cloud. You can download the image to your workstation and then copy to your AIX system, or you can click here to copy the URL of the agent file and use a tool like wget to download to your system. The Rubrik Backup Service is delivered as an RPM, so we can easily install using the RPM command. The RPM contains a certificate that is tied to the chosen Rubrik cluster to ensure secure communication between the AIX system and that specific Rubrik cluster. We can see that the agent runs as root and is listening on TCP ports 12800 and 12801, which must be allowed through any firewalls. Now that we have the Rubrik Backup Service installed and running, we can connect the AIX system to Rubrik Security Cloud. We can select Inventory, Data Center, Linux and Unix file sets. In the Add Hosts wizard, we can enter our AIX system IP address or host name, then click Add. Rubrik Security Cloud reaches out to the AIX system and securely registers that system into its inventory. Next up is to define the file system and file rules for the data we wish to protect. Let's create a file set for /export/LPP source and include all files in that directory. We'll click the File Sets tab and Add File Set to define our data. After we select the Rubrik cluster connected to the AIX system, we define our rules: the directory and/or files to include, optional directory or files to exclude, and optional directory or files to specifically not exclude. Here, let's include our /export/LPP source /** location, where ** matches all children files and directories. Optionally, we can follow network shares, perhaps this is an NFS mounted file system, or hidden folders. Additionally, we can enable pre and post scripts that will run before and after the backup. This is very handy for workloads like databases, where we would want to run scripts to quiesce and resume workloads, or perhaps we need to take a JFS2 file system snapshot before backing up the data. Let's define some scripts that will save log files of our activity. Note that the script path must contain Rubrik/scripts. Rubrik's SLA engine makes backup simple. From a single policy, you can define the types of data you wish to protect, file sets in this case, frequency and retention settings, as well as archiving, replication, and retention lock for additional resiliency. From our data protection dashboard, let's select SLA domains and create SLA domain. We'll select file sets under physical hosts, then select our desired frequency, retention, archival, and replication settings. Rubrik's SLA engine allows configuring retention lock, which will ensure that your backups cannot be deleted ahead of their expiration date determined by the SLA's settings. Back at our AIX host, we go to the host overview and select Manage Protection. We'll select our file set, which defines which data on this system to protect, and then assign the SLA we created moments ago. Rubrik's SLA engine will take over and protect your data. The SLA engine manages the data lifecycle by taking new backups as specified and letting older backups age out according to our chosen frequency and retention settings. Backups are also replicated to another Rubrik cluster or archived to an on-premises or cloud archival location as specified. From the Events tab, we can see that our backup job is successful, that our pre and post scripts ran, and we backed up approximately 2.5 gigabytes of data in just over a minute. Back on our AIX system, we can see that our pre and post scripts did in fact execute. From the Objects page in Rubrik Security Cloud, we can see the file set name, the assigned SLA, the Rubrik cluster protecting the object, and even the detected AIX version. Then, select a day from the calendar with a green check mark to find a backup for recovery. We can recover data by selecting an entire directory and its contents, or individual files in an intuitive shopping cart style interface. You can choose to download your selected files to your local machine. You can overwrite existing data on the system. You can recover the files to a different folder, or you can even recover them to another AIX system connected to the same Rubrik cluster. From the Events tab, we can see that our recovery job is successful. Within Rubrik Security Cloud's Data Threat Analytics application, we can see how Rubrik leverages various threat intelligence feeds as part of our threat monitoring solution to proactively detect possible malware in your protected data. Administrators can also execute a threat hunt using an industry-standard YARA rule, hash, or dictionary entry to search for known or suspected malware. Within Rubrik Security Cloud's Data Security Posture application, users can review sensitive data that may be contained in files in an incorrect location or with less restrictive permissions than desired, according to your organization's security and compliance policies. Administrators can then take action to harden that data and prevent unauthorized access. So, together we reviewed the Rubrik Security Cloud dashboard, downloaded and installed the Rubrik Backup service, connected the AIX system to Rubrik Security Cloud, created a file set and an SLA, assigned that file set to an SLA and performed backups, recovered data from that backup, and then reviewed how Rubrik's cyber resiliency tools can help detect malware and sensitive data in your environment. Thank you for joining me in learning how to protect AIX environments using Rubrik Security Cloud.